Hello everyone, and welcome again to another Excel tutorial with Youdevhub. Right now, previous tutorials we talked about the formulas and how to use the formula to perform one or two operations. Now in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you about something very different. On the previous versions of Excel, it was formerly called VLOOKUP, where you get to use that formula to look up or check for some values or a certain criteria in a Excel sheet. All right, so let's say for an example, you want to find out the salary range of a particular staff among a particular list, or you want to find out the particular email of a staff among the other lists. Now, those are what VLOOKUPs are used for. But as we progress in Excel, we discover that VLOOKUPs can only have some limitations which other formulas have been brought up to oversee. Now, some of the differences between the VLOOKUP and the index is that the VLOOKUP can only look left. So let's say, for example, you want to find the emails for these staffs and you want to pick the name to find the name, use the name to find the email for the staff, and you want to put it out in this column N here, right? With VLOOKUP, you can only do that one way. So if something else come in between the name and the email, VLOOKUP will automatically see it as an error and it will not work. But now we have more exciting ways to do that. Now, what I would have loved to do the most is to teach you the most recent way of doing that. But unfortunately, due to Microsoft's updates and the limitation, it's only available for Microsoft Office 365. And we know that Microsoft Office 365 is a very expensive licensed Microsoft Office to get. And you will not be able to afford to get one now. I wish I have one, but I'm still going to try and get one downloaded anyway. Get one and share across to you so that you can also use. But for now, we don't have that. And that formula XLOOKUP is missing from 2019 downward. Only those that have, I think, 2021 version of the Microsoft Office and above have that. So alternatively to getting Microsoft Office 365, we can also try to get Microsoft 2021, which I'm not very sure the cracked version will be made available so shortly. So in this tutorial, we'll be settling for an average, which is index. Now, unlike VLOOKUP, the index formula can allow you to do a whole wide range of stuffs, right? So it can allow you to do all the things that VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP can do. In the earlier version or in the later version, the 2021 version and the 365 version, XLOOKUP is what you use the most. But now we are going to be using index coupled with a lot of mix, such as index with match or index with if error and if no error, to be able to get exactly what we'll be getting when we are using a VLOOKUP. So a typical VLOOKUP goes directly to, let's say we want to get email for just a specific name of person, which is let's just say we just want the email for these three people. Let me just go ahead and just copy out their, okay, you just want the email for these 4 persons, right? And you just want their email alone. You don't want for the whole entire list, you just want for them. Now, what XLOOKUP would have done on a normal ground is to come directly and search for this name from this name column and bring out the email address straight up in one syntax, just like that. But because we don't have XLOOKUP on this, we'll be using an index formula. All right, so if I want to typically do this now, because I can see that this data is not much, and I can actually know where they are, I can come and say I want to find out the name, the address or the email address for Angela Martin, right, from a list of all the list of this email now because this is just a 10 rows record, and I know that okay, this is the position for Angela Martins, right? I can come and say, okay, what is the position or what is the email address for Angela Martin? And I can come and just say equals to index. I'm selecting the whole range, that is from the whole range of the work. Give me the value that exists in row 4, column, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Give me the value that exists in row 4 column 12. And okay, now sorry, it's going to be row 5 now. I think it's going to be row 5 since we are already on Angela Martin. So let me see, row 5. Okay, and it gives me this. Now this is because I already know which row and which column it exists. So match or index is used to find out the values that exist in specific rows and column. Now what happens when you don't know the row and the column to use? Let's say we are asked to find maybe they just give you this name now. Okay, find the email address that matches with Toby Flenderson, and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know which row and which columns it falls in. Now this is where the match come in. Now what do the match basically do? The match basically looks for the column number or the position of a value in a column. So now instead of looking at our formula where we have you specifying the column number, which is column and row, which is 5 and 12, the match does that for you automatically and imputes it in your index. So let's go ahead to the next sheet and let me demonstrate that for you. Let's say for an example, let me just go ahead and clear this one out. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Clear content. All right. So we want to find the email address for Toby Flenderson now, and we don't know where it's coming from. Okay. But we know the full name, and we know that these are full names and these are a list of email. We don't know where the position of Toby Flenderson is in the name column. We don't know where the email is. We have 1 million rows and we don't even know where anything exists. Now, how do we do that? We are going to let's first use match to find the position of Toby Flenderson, right? So let's say equals to match. The lookup value. Now, what do we want to look at, right? Which value do we want to look up? We want to look up for the value of Toby Flenderson. That is the value we are looking for. That's our lookup value, Toby Flenderson. And what is the lookup array? The lookup array now means where are we searching for it from? So we are looking at it from the list of all the names. And now, what is the match type? Now, we have 3 types or 4 types, but for this match, we'll be looking at 3 types. Number 1 is less than. Now, if you're giving it a value of 1, which means it's going to look for anywhere there's any value less than Toby Flenderson. So it's going to start looking for values that are not equal to Toby Flenderson, which can be any other people. If you put 0, 0 means it should look for it where the value is exactly equal to Toby Flenderson. So it will not look for any other person, but exactly Toby Flenderson. And greater than also means looking for a value that is greater than. Now, they are mostly useful when you are dealing with numbers, right? You can use it less than or greater than when you're looking for number. Let us say you want to look for the age now, 32. If you use less than, it will bring up all the ages that are less than 32. If you put greater than, it will look for greater than. or equal to, but exact match means it's going to look for the exact match. So we want to look for the exact match, which is Toby Flenderson. So we'll put it here and press enter, and it's bringing the value 5. Now what does 5 mean now? 5 means Toby Flenderson is located in the 5th row of this column. Since we selected this column from here to here, right? Since we selected this, counting downwards, we have Jimmy Apart as 1, Pam as 2, Dwight at 3, Angela at 4, and Toby at 5. That is why it is telling you that from this list of numbers names we have here, looking for this particular name ends up in the 5th row. If we go and drag it down, we'll see that Pam Beasley is written in, okay, sorry, it's going to be another different criteria now, so we can't do it that way. We're also going to be searching for its own. So we're going to be searching for Pam Beasley, where the name starts from, is also going to start, this is going to start from R2 also, because we are looking at it from the whole entire list. So it's still going to be this way, and it's going to give you 2 because the value here is actually 2 also. So if you do that and do that for everything, you will have it. So let's ignore these guys. Let me clear out the context. So this is it. So now we're looking for Toby Flenderson, and we've gotten for Pam Beasley. We can go ahead and find for Meredith Palmer and the rest of them. But that is the match. That is where they are found. So if we take this value of 5, right, and come back to our index and say, let's look for Toby Flenderson, right? Let's look for Toby Flenderson using what we've just done now, right? So let's say we are looking for index. Now what is the array? Where are we looking for the array? We are looking for the array of full name. We are looking for all the full names of the staff, where you have 5. Do we see that it's now bringing out Toby Flenderson also, right? Because Toby Flenderson is 5 and we have found the 5. So instead of come and use our rows and column number, we have already selected the rows and column, and it's showing us that that is where Toby Flenderson is. So match or index is used to find when you know the row and column. But if you don't use it, if you don't know the row and column, you can use match to find the row and column. Now let us put that together to make it more meaningful, right? So we have the index match. Now what is the index match used for, right? Just like I said, we want to find the email address for specific people in the name. Let's go back and copy these 4 people. We want to find the email address for specific people. Now, we don't know the position and we don't know the value. But what we know is that we can say equals to index. Now, when we are using index, what do we want to find? Right? We want to find the email address, right? So we want to find the email address from this list of email address. And what do we want to do? We want to find the email address and we want to match it. We want to match it to look for an array. We want to match it by looking for the first email here, matching it and searching for this email from all the name. So what are we saying now? We are saying let's look for the email address where the name Dwight Struth is equal to any name in this full name column. Now for the match type, we are going to put 0 because we want it to find exactly where it exists. And now let's be careful about our parentheses. Match opens one parenthesis, which is here, but index also has another parenthesis. So we are also going to close the parenthesis and click on enter. And now we can have the email address for Do It Straight. Now in the next video, I'm going to go over this index match again so that you understand it fully.